And what is good, everybody? Welcome back. I am the Luzon. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I'm just gonna dive back in. I know I probably need an explanation video, but now, like I said, I'm gonna be a little more consistent with these letterbox reviews, these movie recommendations. I'm gonna go back to doing weekly vlogs. I just need to dive in and just remember that I have a YouTube page, even though now I have 91 followers on my Twitch. So if you're not following my Twitch, I'm going to put the link in the description. Follow, twitch.tv/Lou_Zod. You can watch me play video games. I haven't really been playing for the past week, but I'm going to be back to consistently doing them every night, every other night if I can. But life has just been hitting me with a lot, and it's been really hard to stay motivated, but sometimes you just got to get up and just do it, no questions asked. Just force yourself into it. Like, I used to be afraid of roller coasters, and the only way I got over it was to just get them in there and fucking grow a pair. You know what I mean? So this is me just saying, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. So today I wanted to recommend, first of all, if you don't know this streaming service, I'm about to recommend it to you right now because it's one of my favorites, and as a horror fanatic, it's a must. If you love horror movies and thrillers and psychologicals, and there's even TV shows. They just added anime recently. It's called Shudder. And there's a lot to be on there. Nicolas Cage's Mandy's on there. The Halloween collection, I believe, is on there. There's a bunch of Japanese horror and found footage horror on there right now. And yeah, it's basically like a Netflix for horror movies. Like, there's a Stephen Yeun movie where certain gas is pumped in and everyone's like aggressively violent called Mayhem. It's a really fun movie. They have a bunch of originals. Late Night with the Devil is a Shudder original, and it's also streaming on Hulu if you haven't seen it. But right now, I want to talk about a particular movie that came out this year, starring Samara Weaving, directed by E.L Katz. E.L Katz, like literally E.L and then Katz, like that enemy from Courage the Cowardly Dog. And it was also done by special effects artist from the Possessor, Dan Martin. It's called Azrael. And yes, that is Samara Weaving on the poster with a fucking machete. And on the bottom, yeah, there's going to be some speculations. All you need to know is that the main idea is that Samara Weaving's character is named Azrael, and also this is her right here. And if you see Samara Weaving covered in blood, that's how you know you're in for a good fucking time. But first and foremost, it just needs to know that she is on the run from an insane cult after some of humanity survived a certain apocalyptic event. Now, what's interesting about this movie is that both Dan Martin and E.L Katz, who directed the movie, wanted a lot of this to be open to interpretation. Azrael's on the run from this cult, and a lot of the people in this insane cult believed that they needed to renounce the sin of their speech after being left behind in the rapture. Now, if you don't know what the rapture is, it's basically this apocalyptic event that says, like, oh, if you are saved and you are faithful, then you will go to heaven, and if you are not, then you will stay on earth with the final apocalyptic battle with the Antichrist and heaven and hell fight, blah, big bad end of world stuff. So yeah, and this is definitely kind of in the same category. This movie, not the One Piece poster. This movie's kind of in the same category as, like, First Omen, Immaculate, religious horror based, but it's also post-apocalyptic. Those little dark things on the bottom of the poster are zombie-like, and there's a reason for that. The director E.L Katz wanted to specifically capture this feeling of uneasiness and uncomfortableness of looking at these creatures, and what they're called is the burned ones. Basically, after the so-called apocalyptic event had occurred, the humans that survived forsake their voice as trying to renounce their sin of speech. There's a lot of biblical quotes that are presented throughout the movie too. The burned ones, these motherfuckers, are very zombie-like. During the day, they're more than less harmless. They just kind of like limp around. Some of them walk like Titans from Attack on Titan. But unless they have the smell of blood, like as soon as you have like an open wound or something, as soon as they smell it on you, they will run, they will lunge, and they will jump. So they have zombie qualities. Even E.L Katz realized that there were going to be a lot of comparisons to zombies. Because, I mean, they limp around, they go like this, or like some of their body fucking positioning is so weird. Like, the way they move around, it's really weird. Which I just added more to, like, the characterization and, like, the monster effects and the character actors that are put into it. There's even a scene with Samara Weaving with a machete and a gun, and she's on the run from these quiet religious zealots because all they know is their idea of these things is they try to sacrifice Samara Weaving's character, who's named after the title, Azrael, to these fucking weird, dark, charred, burned victim zombies. Basically, what this cult believes is that after this so-called apocalyptic event, and these burnt zombies were like roaming around, sacrifices. That's what they do. Like either Azrael or like many women before them, they just threw them out or like put them in a chair and just left them captive for these fucking things to just come and take them and take their blood. And like the way they execute people is very, very brutal, because as soon as you're an open wound, they will lunge at you and they will like drag you across a tree for more blood to be like scattered across, and they just love that shit. They'll tear your ass apart, and it's fucking incredible. And just to give you an idea, Dan Martin was asked by E.L Katz, who Dan Martin previously worked on The Possessor, directed by Brandon Cronenberg. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's fucking awesome. He wanted the body horror in this movie specifically to give you like an uneasy, uncomfortable feeling, like looking at burn victims or like looking at like medical records of like people who have lost their skin or people who have had it all burnt off, because apparently this apocalyptic event involves some kind of solar flare or some kind of burning, and it's all very religious based, and like you see like these charred corpses running around, and it'll kind of put the fear of God in you in a way. And so all of them look like this, and there's a bunch of them just running around holding their shoulders or like crawling, and they'll run as soon as you have like open wounds or if you're covered in blood. So Samara Weaving's doing a lot of running, but like I said, they renounced their sin of speech, so a lot of them have like these cuts on their necks and they don't speak. They can't scream. They can't whisper. They can whistle, but that's about it. The cult communicates through whistling, which, you know, Azrael uses to her advantage. And the third act of this fucking movie, y'all, it goes full like action based, like full fucking like, it's slow burn, obviously, but like it's really good in the third act. Samara Weaving goes off. There's even an action scene with like a car and an assault rifle and a dude with a machete. And Samara Weaving's fucking badass. Let me tell you, man. It's like, go in, like, I know you're probably not going in blind because you watched this video, but if you can, go in with as little as possible as you know. Because this is going to be another huge spoiler about the movie. Besides being like a full high-octane ride, slow burn thriller, I know, full octane ride, like really. Like, the zombie stuff is still really gnarly, and the body horror is still very much apparent. And these things they're fucking awesome. They're like a new age zombie. And there's a lot to be appreciated about their movement and the characterization and their abilities at night as they become like a real threat. But what I really appreciate about this movie is the immaculate, the first omen aspect of the religious horror. Because later, after Azrael comes back and slaughters her cult, and she comes back to what she was trying to run away from, which was actually a crying, disgusting child that she left behind and gave birth to, that she didn't want to look at or see, because it actually ended up looking like this. The Antichrist, motherfucker. But like, you know, in the other movies, like in First Omen, like, I really liked how they ended that, but the birthing scene was also really gnarly with the jackal. And then Immaculate, you saw how that ended with the whole fucking rock thing. And like, I still got to give it up to Sydney Sweeney for that movie. It was fucking great. But this right here, the production designers went off. As you can see, there's like multiple eyes on the head if you like look more like upward. And then the horns, and then those Slenderman finger hands right there you see right on the side. And there's little hooves that Azrael looks at, and she ends up smiling, holding it. And the zombies are no longer attacking her, even though she's holding this fucking thing, which means that they're connected somehow. So this thing was supposed to come, you know, during the apocalypse, and those freaking zombies, burned ones or whatever, are victims of some apocalyptic event that are connected to the birthing of this thing. So yeah, a lot of lore, a lot of shit, and that's why I highly recommend it. And it's just fucking, I just needed to talk about it. I don't know anyone else that's seen this and talk about it. But yeah, as for this week, I'm going to go to Stonewood Mall. I'm going to go back to the comic stores. I'm going to do more comic hauls. I'm going to do a lot more reviews and 2 more videos coming up. I'm going to do a Dune prophecy thing because I've just been diving in on the lore. I'm in the middle of Messiah. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of the Balerian Jihad, and Dune prophecy is out. And I'm also going to talk about Skeleton Crew because right now it's like giving me Goonies, Stranger Things, and Stand By Me vibes in Star Wars. And I've been meaning to talk about like Star Wars and videos and like some comic stuff. But when the comic stuff comes, including Friday when Marvel Rivals releases, I'm going to be going live more here with that game. If the servers don't crash on the first day. But yes. Also, please go follow me and go subscribe to my Twitch. And also, I just really wanted to share this picture of the people behind this movie having fun with the animatronic. Yeah, that's a fucking animatronic. They're using like a little fucking machine, like claw thing with it. Apparently, like there's a whole like little thing moving his feet, little animatronic bar, pull bar or whatever. So, yeah, movie magic. Go watch Azrael. And I will also be recommending some more Shudder originals, so stay tuned. And yeah, Skeleton review and Doom Prophecy, more stuff this week at the end of the week when I'm doing more stuff. So look forward to that. And thank you for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look at my other previous videos and, give them a like and share with the people you love. I'm not taking a hit of this, but I'm about to do it right now. And yeah, man. Thanks for joining me. Later.